Welcome to Loyalty is Everything, Love and War, where trust is tested, love fuels conflict, and loyalty really is everything. I'm about to take you on a journey. In each episode, we'll uncover stories of passion, betrayal, and survival in one of the most toughest cities in America. I'm your host, Molotti. Let's get risky.
I wish you could read my mind, baby. Tell me what I'm thinking. I've been stressing lately, game banging, ain't been sleeping. I've been stepping with some demons, hard broke trying to get even. Feds took the phone, they got me sliding out of Lincoln. My BM say I'm tweaking, I just got on, I ain't thinking. She turned my daughter on me.
March 31st, 2020. Lil said stood in his bedroom looking at the body-length mirror hanging on the back of the door. He ran a brush over his freshly cut, deeply waved head and then fixed the collar on the black suit jacket he wore. Behind him, Shayna was sitting on their bed in a beautiful white wedding gown. "You look amazing," he complimented her, turning the face up with a small smile on his face. His smile hid his nervousness. "Thanks, and you look as handsome as I always imagined you would look on our wedding day," Shayna replied, forcing herself to smile. The two had been in love since before they knew what love truly was. He had never met a woman as perfect as her, and she had never met a man that could compare to him. They were each other's first and only loves. They were best friends and soulmates, with a bond most people never got to experience. "Girl, I'm in love with you. This ain't no honeymoon. We're past the infatuation stage. We're riding the thick of love. At times we get sick of love. It seems like we argue every day," Lil said, sang along with John Legend, staring deep into Shayna's big brown eyes. Shayna smiled, showing her perfect white teeth. She knew that this was one of Lil Said's favorite songs. Whenever they were seeing eye to eye, he would put that song on repeat. They were in an apartment Lil Said had recently rented on the north side of Chicago. Nobody knew about the apartment besides them, and that's how they wanted it. Nobody could know where they were, at least not until after tonight. "What if we went to Idaho or Wyoming? We should be good there. I never hear about anybody getting killed in Wyoming," Shayna said. Lil Said locked eyes with her and saw a sign of hope, a glimmer of faith, and he hated that he had to be the one to ruin that. "Just because you don't hear about it don't mean it's not happening, and no matter where we go, they always gonna come searching. And even if they don't, the police will," he said before leaving the room. Lil Said returned holding a white bottle of Bel Air and 2 plastic cups. "Why won't they just leave us alone and let us be happy?" Shayna asked sadly. That was a good question, one Lil Said wished he had the answer to. "Because they don't understand how deep this love is, and I'm tired of trying to force them to understand. I'm tired of running too. I'm tired of all this shit," Lil Said gruffed. He could feel himself getting angry, just thinking about everything they had endured over the course of their 22 years on Earth. Shayna stood up directly in front of him. She was 5'9", but the heels she wore added to her height and made her look way taller than he was, and he was 5'8". Shayna was the color of honey, straight from the honeycomb, whereas Lil Said was as dark as a freshly brewed cup of coffee. "Will you dance with me?" Shayna asked as Ed Sheeran and Beyonce's perfect duet started playing on the Bluetooth speaker. "Of course, but take off those heels so we don't look so funny," Lil said, but it wasn't like anyone could see them anyway. Shayna slid out of her heels and the two lovers danced in each other's arms. "'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time. Darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own, and in your eyes, you're holding mine," Lil Said sang to Shayna. Shayna always loved how Lil Said loved to sing to her, even though he couldn't sing. "We are still kids, but we're so in love, fighting against all odds. I know we'll be alright this time. Darling, just hold my hand. I'll be your girl, you'll be my man. And I see my future in your eyes. Well, baby, I'm dancing in the dark. with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass, while listening to our favorite song. Shayna sung Beyonce's verse while they danced and stared deeply into each other's eyes. This was indeed Shayna's favorite song, and Lil Sid knew that. When I saw you in that dress, looking so beautiful, I don't deserve this. Darling, you look perfect tonight. Lil Sid sang. He had tears in his eyes. I love you, he whispered to Shayna. I love you more, ugly, she replied with a giggle. After that dance, they sat on a soft gray carpet and poured cups of champagne. Do you remember Valentine's Day 2012? You bought me this necklace? Shayna asked, touching the gold necklace she wore. Lil Sid took a gulp from his cup before answering. How could I forget? I convinced you to ditch school so we can go to the movies. Shayna immediately started giggling. And when my daddy called us, he chased you from 87 to 103rd. He was so mad he could have catch you. I never saw him run so fast, she said, and they shared a laugh. I'm not gonna lie, he had me a little scared that day, Lil Sid admitted, laughing even louder. He dug into his pocket and pulled out a glass vial containing a yellowish liquid. You ready? He asked Shayna, waving the vial at her. As ready as I'll ever be, she replied sadly. The tears she'd been fighting were now dripping down her cheeks. Head up, gangster. What I tell you about all that soft shit? Lil Sid asked with a fake smile. He tried his best not to show it, but Shayna knew he was just as scared as she was. You were just crying, so shut up, punk, she teased. Lil Sid twisted the cap off the vial and split its contents between the 2 cups of champagne. I love you, my beautiful wife, he told Shayna, making her smile. And I love you more, my handsome husband. They were both crying now. Lil Sid picked up his cup first and sniffed it. They then wrapped their arms around each other and lifted their cups to each other's mouth. To death do us part, they said in unison before gulping down the cups. Shayna's eyes grew as big as 2 full moons when Lil Sid started convulsing wildly. Before she could do anything, she started convulsing just like him. The 2 lovers lay wrapped together, convulsing in a sad ball of love and pain until everything went black and all their pain faded away. Before y'all find out how it ended, let's take it back to how this all started. January 1998. Cordell sat in the lobby of Little Mother of Mary's hospital, toying with the zipper on his leather Averex jacket. His best friend, Willis, sat to his right with a huge smile spread across his face. You look nervous as hell, G, he told Cordell. The truth was, Cordell was indeed nervous. He had butterflies flying around his stomach. His girlfriend, Tay-Tay, was in labor giving birth to their first child. She begged for him to stay in the room by her side, but he had a weak stomach and knew the sight of her pushing out their son might have made him throw up. I'm just anxious to see my little mans, that's all, Cordell said. Willis already had a son, and his girlfriend had just given birth to their daughter 2 weeks ago, so he knew exactly what Cordell was going through. Willis patted him on the back. Congratulations, G, and welcome to the Daddies Club, he said as a middle-aged white nurse opened the door to the room where Tay-Tay was delivering. He's here, the nurse smiled, showing all of her teeth. Cordell rushed to the room to see Tay-Tay holding their newborn son. Cordell's older brother, Liddell, stood in the corner of the room with what looked like a small smile on his face. Look, Cedric, there go your daddy, Tay-Tay told their son, smiling from ear to ear. Cordell reached out and grabbed the chocolate baby boy. It did surprise him that his son wasn't crying like most newborns did. What's up, Lil Sid? Cordell asked, holding him in the air. He had a Kool-Aid smile on his face. Here go your uncles, Cordell said before passing his son to Willis first. Willis cradled him for a minute before handing him to Liddell. Once he was in Liddell's arm, Lil Sid started crying loudly. I see you scared of me just like your daddy, Liddell joked, rocking his nephew in his arms. You got both of us fucked up, Cordell mumbled as his pager went off. The sound of his pager beeping knocked the smile right off of Tay-Tay's face. You hungry, babe? He asked her as he looked at his pager. No, she replied quickly. She knew he was looking for a reason to leave. Can't it wait, baby? We just had our first child. Please don't let the streets ruin this special moment, Tay pleaded, already knowing that his page was going off, meaning he had business to attend to. "I'll be right back, baby, I promise," Cordell assured her. "Can't Liddell or Willis go for you?" "You know it don't work like that," he replied, causing her to smack her lips. She wasn't worried about him leaving to go cheat. In the 4 years that they've been together, she never caught him cheating, so she didn't question his loyalty. She knew he was a hustler, and if he didn't hustle, they didn't eat. He wasn't just selling bags anymore. He had weight and was building an empire, so he spent a lot of time in the streets. For the most part, she was extremely understanding, but today, she had every reason to feel some type of way. "You only been here for a few minutes and your father leaving already. Welcome to the world, Cedric," Tay bitterly told her son, watching his father leave the room. "You sure you don't want to stay, bruh?" Liddell asked Cordell once they were in Cordell's Monte Carlo. "You know how Shaw be acting when I send other people to handle my business," Cordell said. "Fuck all that shit, man," Liddell snapped. "We not other people. We your business partners and we spending our money too. Why the fuck I gotta sit in the car like I'm a little ass kid?" he asked. It went like this every time they traveled to the hundreds to grab pounds of weed from a BD named Shaw. Cordell met Shaw through Tay, who was Shaw's youngest cousin. She introduced her to him when Cordell was still grabbing ounces, and now he was buying 10 pounds at a time. Not all 10 pounds were his. 5 belonged to Willis, and Liddell only had enough money for 1, but they always re-upped together. Shaw was a BD from 109th and Wabash, and he made it clear to Cordell that he trusted him and him only, no one else, especially none of the GDs from the low end that he ran with. Cordell wasn't originally from the low end. He wasn't even from Chicago. Him and Liddell were from South Memphis, and they moved to Chicago in 1992 when their father died. They moved on 47th Place, right off Cottage Grove, with their grandmother. Cordell stayed to himself. Liddell was the one that always wanted to go out and try to make friends. One day, the guys that hung out on their block decided to try Liddell, who ran and went to get Cordell, who was younger but more aggressive. Not to mention, he owned the snub-nosed 357. When Cordell came out to address the guys that chased Liddell, he didn't come aggressive. He simply asked what happened and what was the problem. One guy thought it would be cool to disrespect him, which he found out was a mistake. Cordell passed his gun to his brother and beat the guy bloody. After the fight, he found out the guys who hung on his block were GDs. He let them know that him and Liddell were GDs from South Memphis, and after that, they started to treat the guys like they were their own. Willis was one of those guys. He and Cordell clicked instantly and went on to become the best of friends. "You say that shit every time we come out here to re-up. I'm tired of hearing that shit, bruh," Cordell told his brother calmly. "If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Business been good," Willis chimed in from the back seat. He too was tired of hearing Liddell complaining. "And it could be better if we all played our parts better. Instead of doing all that partying and spending, we supposed to be stacking all our paper up," Cordell added, not taking his eyes off the road. "Nigga, you party too," Liddell shot back defensively. He felt that if his brother's words were directed right towards him. Cordell shook his head. "I never said I didn't, bro. Why do you always point out what the next nigga doing?" he asked, looking at Liddell through the rearview mirror. "Fuck all that shit, G. You just had your first child. Tonight is a fucking celebration," Willis said, diffusing the situation before it got started. "You right, folks. Pass me that bottle of hen," Cordell told Willis, who passed him the fifth of Hennessy. Cordell lifted the bottle and took a big gulp before passing it to his brother. When they pulled up to Shaw's house, they counted their money, put it together, and Cordell got out the car. Cordell knocked twice before Shaw swung the door open and stretched his long frame in the doorway. Then he invited him inside. Shaw was tall, about 6'6", with shoulder-length braids and dark skin. "I had nodded off in that bitch," he said, yawning, leading him into the kitchen. The kitchen smelled like nothing but weed. Shaw had a scale on the table and a garbage bag full of weed, waiting to get bagged up. "Tay had y'all son today, didn't she?" he asked, taking a seat at the table. "Yeah, we named him Cedric," Cordell said with a smile. "Congratulations. I'm going to give you a little something extra to celebrate becoming a father," Shaw told him while pulling pounds out of the garbage bag and sending them on the scale. "You know you ain't got to do that, Scud. You ain't never came short." I know, but I prefer to keep business. I'm not going to conduct business with you as if we were family or friends, because that's what niggas fuck up at. Friends and family members get comfortable and think if they fuck up your money, it'll be cool. I don't never want us to mix business with friendship, you feel me? Shaw asked, and Cordell nodded in agreement. Now, how many you grabbing? 10, Cordell replied, passing him a wad of money. After counting the money, Shaw said, I'm going to give you 25 pounds. The 10 you paying for, 5 for becoming a father, and 10 on consignment. How that sound? That sound good, but I hate getting shit on consignment because anything can happen and then I'll be on you. Nah, bro, I'm good with just the extra 5 you blessing me with. Shaw liked Cordell. He felt as if he was a stand-up guy with morals and a real money-making mentality. They spoke sports while Shaw weighed up every pound. When he was done, Cordell put the pounds in the garbage bag and carried them to the car. Cordell decided to let Willis and Liddell take over for the night and had them drop him back off at the hospital. When he entered the room, Tay was sound asleep. I'm back, baby. He woke up with a kiss on the forehead. Hey, baby, Tay said sleepily. She looked at the clock that hung on the wall and saw that he was only gone for a little over an hour and a half. She wasn't mad anymore. She knew he had to handle business to provide. Despite all the long nights in the streets, dodging bullets and ducking the police, Cordell made sure he took care of home and always treated Tay good, and she appreciated that. So how you feeling, baby? Cordell asked, taking a seat in the chair next to her hospital bed. My coochie still sore, but I'm okay, she said, making him laugh. So you think you really ready to be a mother? I think it's too late for me not to be ready. How about you? Cordell thought for a moment before answering. I hope I'm ready. I pray every night that I can give my son a better life than the one I live. I want him to be a better man than I am in every possible way. I don't want to fall short as a father, he admitted. You won't fail him, Tay assured him. He thanked her with a kiss. I hope he likes sports and grow up wanting to be like Mike, Cordell said, thinking of his son's future. The two spoke about LaSare's future until Tay nodded off. Cordell planned on sleeping in the chair right next to her bed, but he got a page from Willis. He knew it was concerning money, so he called him from the hospital's phone and had him come pick him up. Cordell climbed into Willis' Impala and flamed up a Newport. What the fuck you doing, G? Willis asked, screwing his face up. He knew Cordell hated cigarettes. I got a son now, G. That shit finally hitting me, Cordell replied before hitting the cigarette too hard. He started coughing violently. Willis laughed and snatched the cigarette from his hand and put it in his mouth. Congratulations, my nigga. Now let's get this fucking money so you can feed him, Willis said. He drove to their trap house on 47th Place and parked in front. I see you got more weed than we had money for. You been stacking your shit up for real, huh? Willis asked as they entered the trap. Nah, he threw me an extra 5 for becoming a father. You know that's Tay family, Cordell explained, taking a seat on the raggedy brown couch that sat in front of a small TV in the living room. I'm taking everything back to the store. It's time to stop playing, bro. We got kids to raise, Cordell said, grabbing the garbage bag containing the pounds. He had already given Liddell 2, he passed Willis 6, and kept 7 for himself. Who you telling, G? We on the same page. It's Liddell we need to be talking to, Willis said. I know, and trust me, bruh. I'ma sit that nigga down and put a bug in his ear, Cordell was saying. Just as he finished his sentence, Liddell walked in the trap along with 2 grimy-looking niggas. What y'all up to, he asked. His eyes were bloodshot red. It was obvious he was high as hell. Shit, who the fuck is these niggas? Willis asked the question that Cordell was about to ask. Who the fuck is you? One of the guys gruff, causing Liddell to chuckle. Chill, man. Just a couple of the folks from the Ickies, Liddell said. Hey, stop bringing niggas in the spot like we don't hustle out here. Cordell mugged, tying the garbage bag up. He didn't trust most of the people his brother hung out with. Chill, they cool, bro, Liddell defended his friends. They cool with you. I don't know them niggas. Matter of fact, where my car keys at, man? I got shit to do, Cordell said with a slight attitude. Liddell wanted to take it there because he felt like Cordell was playing the mat in front of his boys. He pulled the car keys from his pocket and threw them on the couch. And I hope you put some gas in my shit too, nigga, Cordell muttered, picking up the keys. He grabbed his bag of weed. Hey, Willis, I'm out of here, G. I'll holler at you in the morning. Willis got up and grabbed his weed. I'm about to call it one too. I'll holler at both of you niggas tomorrow. Willie said following Cordell out the trap.